Check. I'm in.
Go ahead.
Peace. Mic check. Mic check.
Heard that one.
Peace.
All right. Literally is no pressure. I'm your host, Bangum Bug.
It's the most controversial co-host Ego World.
And we got a special guest. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Peace and blessings. This is man Putu Ball Phenom, live and direct, representing the LIB and the RBG in this generation. It's a pleasure to be here, folks, on the Literally It's No Pressure podcast. Yeah.
Okay, so you said what? Okay, okay, I ain't hear what you said, but so
He said that shit so fast though.
Yeah, so where are you originally from?
Well, I'm repping Liberia, West Africa. I grew up in the States. My family's from Liberia, West Africa, a country that was formed by former slaves back in the early 1800s in Africa. And this weekend, actually on Monday, celebrating the 174th independence of Liberia, West Africa. So yeah, that's Liberia, right next to Sierra Leone, you know, Ivory Coast, Guinea, and all that. You feel me?
So y'all be in the club celebrating that?
Oh yeah. They're gonna be in the clubs, man. Everywhere. You go to Philly right now. You go to Atlanta, Minnesota. You know, like for instance, everywhere in the States right now. So yeah, it's gonna be lit.
Yeah, matter of fact, I ran into some Africans at Tex, and she asked me, she was like, "You African?" I was like, "Well, no, I'm not African. I was born in the States." But she was like, "Well, you know you are." I'm like, "Of course I know I'm African." She said, "You look like you from," I forgot the name of the country, but can you tell by looking at like a black person in the States, like where they would be from?
Yeah, I mean, you can. It's like, if you go to Africa right now, you might think you've seen your cousins or your brothers and sisters. You got a twin. Yeah. You look like you could be from Nigeria, you know, or Liberia. You know what I mean? It could be anywhere. But the bottom line is, like, our DNA, our genetics is so strong. You go to Haiti, you go to Jamaica, in the Caribbean, you go to Africa, you go to New Orleans, you be like, that look like, nah, that ain't, you could talk with a whole different accent, a whole other dialect. So you definitely have a twin out there.
Okay, so
That's what the old people say all the time.
Yeah. You know, we gotta listen to the old folks. Sometimes we always be saying, oh, sometimes they be having some truth to it.
Oh no, I know that they weren't capping, but I ain't met my twin yet. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta take that
Well,
trip.
I said 50 Cent.
matter of fact, I seen somebody who looked like you, like a.
You know, niggas say I used to look like 50 Cent, then they say I look like Meat Mill, then I had moments I look like Kevin Durant. I don't know what the fuck. I ain't seen my twin. Like,
I don't see
he looked like me, or was it just that he had a hat on like this type shit?
Yo, his face looked like yours.
For real?
Yeah. I said, this nigga look like Ego. It would have been weird to be like, let me take him and show this nigga. But you definitely look like the
We all got our twins.
Nah, I had somebody tell me that I had this dude, he said his brother died, and I looked exactly like it. I had a dude tell me that.
Nah.
And I was like, damn, that's fucked up. But like, I'm glad. I told him I'm glad that, you know, I gave you a good memory. You know what I'm saying? And like, he kind of was weird about it though. He was like, yeah, let me get you, man. We should hang out, man. I'm like, I don't want you to feel like you hanging out with your brothers.
Yeah, that's
kind
a
of
little scary.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nah, but they say, you know, again, the old folks would say sometime after somebody passed away, like, you might see the person who looked like them come, like, you know, that's their way of, like, saying bye or saying something like that. You feel me? It is some truth to that.
Okay, so are you close with your mom and dad?
Yeah, my mother passed away back in 2012. My pop's still around, you know, and we kicking in, you know. It ain't always easy, but, you know, yeah.
He smoke weed?
Nah.
What you mean, like, so with y'all just don't get along, or y'all?
Well, nah, we good. No, it's just like, you know, as we're gonna get into it, I'm really big on the revolutionary and trying to bring the people together. And if I know anything about, like, you know, African parents, you know, coming to the America, it's like, you know, you want your kids to be lawyers and doctors and things of that nature. But, you know, it's a mutual understanding, you know what I mean, over time. But, like, that's the pride. That's always the pride. Like, okay, we coming from Africa. We in America. You don't want to be like Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, and everything like that. We trying to, like, level up, get our money right and everything like that. So that's what that is.
Okay, so what would you say, like, the most traumatic experience you had as a child?
Ooh. Well, man, it's a lot of things that I could mentioned, but it's again like it's more so some of the things that was going on with like with my family, you know what I'm saying, as far as like the war and crazy things that went throughout the war, and we was able to come to America, was in America, and it's like, yeah, and just the stories and just the feeling of guilt, like it's feeling like, yo, we in America, and we have some opportunity, but then it's like this family member dying, this person, like, and some of the things that went on is like, it's some crazy stories, you know what I'm saying, as far as people getting the stomach ripped open, babies being, like people getting eaten up and all kinds of things like that.
Horrible.
You know what I mean? And when you look at not just me, or the whole Liberian society, is like there's a lot of traumatization, you know what I'm saying, and secondhand traumatization, like, and we always have an issue coming together sometimes. That's why it's so big, this whole Liberian independence, where despite all the trials and tribulations and everything like that, we still finding a way to come together, you know what I mean? So that was really like a motivation for me as I grew up, to try to find a way how to, to heal from those wounds, you know what I mean? Heal our people, heal myself from just like all the stuff that we done been through as a people over the years. Like started with the coup 1980, then the war broke out in 1989, all throughout the 90s. That's just what you were hearing about Liberia. And just when we was getting to things to get a little bit better, Ebola hit. Y'all remember Ebola?
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Like right before, the biggest thing before the Corona thing was Ebola, and I don't know if y'all want to go and talk about that, but that's another story about when you get into all these experimentations and how they always trying to take advantage of our people who don't have like people to speak up for them. You feel me?
Okay, so did you see somebody's stomach get ripped open?
Nah. But the thing is, what you gotta remember, like, right, is like, the impact of, when you closely removed to that, you have cousins, you have like uncles, you got people, like it affects you. You know what I'm saying? And I think that sometimes, like, we always feel like you cannot be traumatized just by hearing or being closely connected to something. There's something called survivor's remorse. You feel me? And what that is like when you have like a family, or you have somebody who you're close to who goes through, something, and they tell you, oh, this person just got killed, and it got like a little kid, like holding AKs and doing all that shit. It has an effect on you because you thinking like, damn, I could have been just in that same situation, you know what I'm saying? And so survivor's remorse is something that Liberians in the diaspora, such as myself, who grew up in the States, but still had that connection, go through. And so that's some of the things there that, like, you know what I mean? When we look at Liberians as a whole, is seeing how we can come together to heal from all of those wounds.
Okay.
That shit deep, man.
Yeah, he kind of.
That shit deep. I mean, I get it though. I watched this. What's that? I know you're gonna know what movie I'm talking about. That movie where they in the soccer field and they training the little boys to hold AKs and shit.
You're talking about War of All Nations.
That's that movie
with Idris Elba.
Yeah, and he go in that soccer field, and then they take the little boys take his ass hostage, and all of them got K's.
Yeah.
I think about shit like that, man. That's fucked up to grow up like that, man.
And the thing about it is, like, we need to really, like, feel and understand that in a way, and not just say, like, that's way over there. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we have a way of, like, just tuning out from another person's pain, like, you know what I'm saying, and saying, like, oh, that shit is way over there. Now, the funny thing about it is, like, in the States, you know what I mean? There's grimy, there's crazy things that going on here. You know what I mean? I seen like I lived in communities where violence, drugs, the same bullshit goes on everywhere, all over the world, right? But it's like when we see each other and when we come together, we try to differentiate our pain as if like, oh, that's what y'all going through over there. That's what this person going over there. And what happens is we end up becoming divided instead of understanding the pain, the struggles of each other and saying like, all right, we all have gone through different levels of pain and struggles, and we have to find our way of how to overcome that instead of saying like, oh, that's because come on now, you got people who came to America thinking that America is heaven. You know what I'm saying?
Joke's on you, motherfucker.
You know what I mean? And got a rude awakening. You know what I mean? And these are the things. That's why, like, I just came back from Liberia about a month and a half ago, and you would be surprised to know that like people don't know about hangings. You know, people don't know about the shootings, the killings that go on. I mean, now people are hearing about it, because of the internet. You know, so they there. I'm telling my little cousin, I'm telling the folks around there, like, yo, like the police, like George Floyd already blew it up. You know what I'm saying? Like they seen it, but back in the day,
police been killing y'all though.
Well, I mean, Liberia it was a civil war. It was more of a civil war. So it was like you had the soldiers, you had the police, you had like the whole society and everything like that. But it's different. America says it's the land of liberty. America, no, not the land of liberty, but the home of the brave and freedom and everything like that. But you have a system where the system itself, the police system, it intentionally, attacks and kills black people. So it's like when you look at another country and you say like, oh man, they been killing, y'all been wilding out there and everything like that. It's like those countries haven't been promoted as the place where freedom and democracy and all that is supposed to exist and everything. And in fact, there was a system that made it so all those things there were supposed to happen or can happen like that. But in America is the place where, oh, we free, we can do this and we can do that. So when you hear about this and when you see it, it's like, but wait, hold up. Something wrong with that picture. You feel me? And that's what I think, like when you have people like Martin Luther King, right? Who
hold on, man.
Mm-hmm.
It sound, bro. This is the interview is going like you doing a speech, like kind of. I'm saying. Kinda,
okay, slow it down.
Yeah, kind of just go into the question because it's like you answer it and then you go into the speech. Like it's gonna be like your interview you doing on your own platform.
Bro, like the thing about it is like sometimes I do I'm a speaker. You know what I mean? So that's what it ain't nothing. You good?
Okay. Okay, so I guess talk about like the COVID and the vaccines that you mentioned earlier. Like, what you think the people should know about COVID and the vaccine?
I think the basic thing that people need to know is that we have rights, and if you want to take the vaccine, do it because you think that it's going to help, not because your family or not because your job or anybody's telling you to do it. Do it because of that. And if you don't want to take it, don't take it. That being said, there's like a push out there that's being put in, trying to make people feel like you in the wrong for not wanting to take the vaccine, and that's not simply true. So my answer to that is that you have a right in what you want to do or don't want to do.
They don't have to come lock me the fuck up.
Okay, so what? Matter of fact, I don't know his words verbatim, but Bill Gates said we basically the population we have too many people here. It's overpopulated. He said with the right vaccines, he said we can get that number down. and ain't nobody talking about this shit. Like, you get what I'm saying?
He just dropped the gym.
He said it on video, like, with the help of vaccines, we can get that number down.
He just dropped
and everybody was just
He said that like 10 years ago, even before COVID.
Yeah.
He dropped the gym, bro.
Yeah.
And then if you on peak, remember we had they call it ex-president? Yeah. One of our ex-presidents was doing a speech and they said, we're not ready for a pandemic. And then, boom, pandemic. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man. I just feel like none of this shit a coincidence, man.
Hey, can you sit down, man?
None of this shit a coincidence, man.
Nah, if y'all get the chance, like, y'all check out this those of y'all on YouTube, is Event 201. Okay, what Event 201 is, it was a simulation that was done of a supposed pandemic. It was done in 2009 in October, and it was sponsored by the Bill Gates Melinda Foundation. They said, what if the world was hit with a coronavirus pandemic, but only this time that in the simulation it came from South America, and it spread over around the world. In the simulation, they had different stakeholders from different companies deciding on how they were going to deal with a pandemic on that level, how they were going to address travel, lockdowns, social media. So everything that you've seen, that we see over the last year and a half, you go back, you type right now, Event 201. It happened in October of 2019, before even the first case of coronavirus in December in China. Just check that out.
Yeah, I mean, I know Farrakhan was saying like some of the most ruthless killers, like their appearance is like, I forgot what word he used, but they have a great appearance because they be looking at black people like we the most violent, but the most gangster motherfuckers wear suits and shit like that and don't even walk the streets. And that shit he said talking about the vaccine, that's some gangster, that's a killer right there.
It's the truth. They tell us the truth.
Yeah.
They tell us the truth and know that we stupid enough to think they playing.
Yeah.
They do that shit. Like, that shit crazy. It's crazy, bro. That's
There
crazy.
is people fighting over the vaccine, like, you know, where if you don't take the vaccine, you can't go over here.
Bro, I'm not taking nothing made by Johnson and fucking Johnson, bro. Why the fuck am I taking some medicine? We're just gonna say medicine. We didn't even get on vaccine. I ain't even known Johnson & Johnson for making a pain pill, my G.
Yeah, that's poison. That's what that shit.
Why the fuck do I look? They make baby oil and lotion. And matter of fact, ain't they getting sued for mesothelioma and cancer?
What type of
That's baby powder.
That's what I'm
The
saying.
baby
Like, bro,
powder.
I ain't taking
And
nothing
they
from them
gotta
folks,
stop.
bro.
They
They the
had to
main
stop.
producer of the vaccine right now. I'm
Yeah.
not taking nothing from them folks, man. They had to lock me up. They had to come to my door, lock me up.
Juvie came out with the song that he remixed the
Vax that ass up.
Vax that ass up.
Vax that ass up.
It was crazy, man.
You like the song?
They paid him for that.
The
Though.
original.
They paid
You know what
him.
I'm saying? But it's
Get that
like,
check, Judy. Yeah.
if they're going at that level, man, if they're going at that level, you know who they targeting. They know a lot of people not taking the vaccine, so they're trying to find every which way. You know, they say they about to start knocking on people's doors.
Yep,
Yeah, but
lock
they
me
say,
up.
but 70% of the people who listen to rap music are like not black though.
Well, I mean, but they know we love, you know what I'm saying, certain artists and everything. If they get certain artists who got influence, so even with that, we know who they're targeting. You know what I'm saying?
Only
Like,
reason why I side with him on that, if Juvie were doing it for the 99 and the 2000, it's kind of like they targeting that. It's like, you know what I mean? Like what we do to get them to do it. So that's the only reason why I sort of agree with you on that, because I can see where that agenda could play out, because that'll pretty much be the 35 and up, if I ain't.
it's a whole generation. And their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like,
No, Julie came out in
the 90s, right? Mid 90s.
yeah, so the motherfuckers who was probably like from like 15 to 30 in them ages was like listening to that music. So it's like from probably like
40 to 50.
30 to 50 probably.
Yeah, that's a good target.
Yeah.
I mean, because that's mainly the motherfuckers that need to take it. The 30-year-olds down, like, most 30-year-olds like, fuck that shit. And most 50-year-olds like, oh, nah, I need to take it so I don't catch this shit. And it's like, you trying to bridge that gap. I can see how that agenda play out.
And then the influence they gonna have on their, you know, whoever. You feel me? So, but it's a serious issue. We just gotta know that we have our rights. Stand your ground. What you believe in.
For sure.
Okay, so tell me about like how did you meet Dr. Umar and like what was he like being around? Like was he like a solid dude or like how was he when you was with him?
Yeah, I say it like this. I met Dr. Umar about 2010, 2011, and this was around the time that I was really getting deeper into my movement and work going back to Liberia. And what I realized was that a lot of people didn't really know about Liberia over here. Like African Americans, we know about Ghana, we know about different countries, but we don't know about Liberia. So I started going to all the different lectures that people were doing, and he was one of the ones. And when I went to the lectures, I would reach out to them and say, hey, I got something going on in Liberia. You heard about Liberia? And then I'm trying for us to go back, take a trip over there. And he was the one. Like I reached out to a lot of different people who I saw that had influence, and he was the one who was like, yeah, I got you. And we set it up, and he came out there, and it was a very great experience. And I respect him off of that. You feel me? Like, cause he didn't have to do it. He wasn't just on some like, oh, the money and anything like that. He was just like, he just made it happen. You know what I mean? When he came through, we had, like what we were able to offer him, but that wasn't like the issue as far as like money, whether he was gonna come or not. He wanted to come through, and so I think he, like over time, like I know people talk about the controversies and all the different things that went on, but for me, I just look at it from the standpoint like I think that he does genuinely care about the people, and maybe the way that he goes about doing things sometimes maybe people don't, it doesn't always connect, but he's putting out a lot of he has put a lot of important information out there. And I think that as a community, we need to be able to just extract what we can from a brother like that, and also other folks in the conscious community. So he's a cool brother, you know what I mean? Very down to earth and humble. Coming out there, the people love them. They were like, "Yo, when you coming back?" But like a few months after coming back, next thing you know, Ebola hit Liberia. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole nother different story.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on? Because he say, I guess we shouldn't date white women. What's your thoughts on it? Should a black man date a white woman?
I mean, I think we should, try to keep it in our community. You know what I mean? I think that like other communities, they do that. You know what I mean? Spanish, Asian is. I don't see that but I don't think that it should be the point of where like we are not able to move to the next level, because I find that sometimes we have these because at the end of the day, put in the work, let your work speak. You know what I'm saying? You got people like Harry Belafonte, you feel me, and even Frederick Douglass, who they had white wives, you feel me. And in this generation too, we got to look at sometimes people just gravitated to who they felt accepting them. You know what I mean? And we don't have enough time to keep on, focusing on issues that is not going to help us move forward as a people. So I would say that we need to promote that. You know what I mean? Keeping it in our family. You know what I mean? In our community. But not to the point where it's like it always becomes a divisive issue, because you know what I'm saying, you got products of that. You have the mixed people who they don't know where they fit in this conversation. You know what I'm saying? And they always try to be the balancer. We have to stay focused on our mission, our goal, and that means where is our place politically as a people. You know what I'm saying? That's what I would say to that.
Okay, so what's your thoughts on, because a lot of black women are like overly aggressive and all this kind of stuff, and you usually see black men go to white women because it's like they more passive. Like, so do you feel like a lot of black women aren't fit for marriage, or like, okay, do you feel like the United States women or the women in Africa are more fit for marriage?
There's a lot of challenges everywhere you go, man. You can't put it on one. I would say that, like, in America, like black, like, we all are fucked up, really. You know what I'm saying? I'm saying as men, as women. You know what I mean? So what's happening right now? I see, like, we like, oh, it's your fault. Oh, it's this. It's like we all sometimes it starts in the home, like. Some of like broken families, you know what I'm saying? What it is to be a man, what it is to be a woman, a father, a mother. So we've been growing up not always seeing the best of examples. And then on top of that, you got the attack coming from the media, the entertainment, who is trying to tear us apart. Okay? We gotta realize, like, there has been a deliberate attempt to separate the black man and the black woman. Okay? Once we know that, then it's like we have to force ourselves to see, okay, what do I need to do to better myself? You know what I'm saying? As a man, for women, what do you need to do to better yourself as a woman? So it's like when we just get into the thing of just like, oh, all black women are aggressive, all black women is this, baby mama drama, all of this, is like there's so much more to the story than that. Because when they come say that, oh, we are all deadbeats, or oh, we are all this and that, like, there's much more to the story there. You know what I'm saying? And when we just trivialize it and just start going tit for tat, we're not getting anywhere.
But I'm saying Muslim women are trained to obey and do wifely duties and all that kind of stuff.
The Africans probably winning, bro. They probably winning, bro.
I think. Okay, so what would you say is like? I guess the okay, if you could tell a black woman about treating a man, like, give me like 3 things you would probably say to what, like, it probably would make the man and the woman relationship go easier.
Understanding his purpose. You know, cooking, being able to cook, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, he was gonna say.
You know what I mean? And just being able to stimulate, you know what I'm saying? Like, understanding, like, the struggle. Those are the things right there. You know what I mean? I think sometimes the problem is like, as black men, especially in America, there's so much BS that we go through, to try to find our place, and, like, you know what I mean? And when we dealing with the world, we don't want to come back and deal with extra more drama. You know what I mean? That's a woman's supposed to be our peace. You feel me? And once a woman understands that, then, you know, she prides herself in being our peace. That doesn't mean that we take advantage of that, and that's where the problem is. You know what I'm saying? So some women say, "Oh no, well, that means you can just go do this and that and the third or whatnot." No, it's not saying that. You know, so that's where our responsibility as men come in, not taking advantage of a good woman who really does her best to take care of our peace.
You need a woman who gonna obey. That's like the biggest thing. Like, for me, like, one of the, like, you could tell a woman, "Hey, park your car closer to the door." Cause you know you be getting here after dark. They'll argue with you about that. Yeah. What you just want to see me? You be like, come on, man, just obey me. Like, listen to
you said obey. Yeah, that's probably a trigger.
I mean, the way he's saying it, it's kind of fucked up, but he kind of right though.
Yeah.
I mean, cause like I tell Diddy all the time, like, that defensive shit it never gets you nowhere. Like, when I say something, if I said it, I just said it. Not treating you like my child, but like if you're my woman and I gave you some sound advice, I don't feel like I gotta explain why I gave you that advice. I'm the king of the castle.
I mean, she married you, so it's something about you saying you a solid nigga, so you should be listening to what the fuck I'm saying, especially if y'all done got married. You get what I'm saying? But I'm dealing with bitches I ain't got no commitment like that with, and I ain't gonna
lie, I'm be petty. I tell her to back her car in all the time. That shit big, man.
Yeah.
But she always just pull that shit in. Like, I don't know. Me personally, I feel like some shit that big, you gotta always back in. Cause you want to just be able to on the back. But I don't know, shit. But it ain't as serious. It ain't more serious than that though. Like if it's some shit like I just started a business. If it's some shit me telling her about a business that I just started, she gonna be like, okay, yeah, he doing this, so I need to. You know what I mean?
Let's say as a man, if you have a purpose, like if you like going in a certain direction, right, and she sees that you are focused and you're moving in that direction right there, right. It's like that gives her. It comes down to like security. Can I trust what this man is saying? You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, but the thing is sometimes if we don't have a certain if now this is if we don't have our shit together, you know what I'm saying, and then we trying to say that, it's like, why should I listen to? That's where that defensive things that were, but like somebody said a quote like when real men step up, real women gonna take heed. You feel me? And the thing is, sometimes like you get the example. Sometimes you might be
that
saying
mean I gotta go get the keys. Take that motherfucking back in myself.
Sometimes you gotta do that, you know what I mean?
Until she like, fuck it, I'm just gonna bag it in, cause then if I don't, then
yeah,
I like that. Yeah. I like that. You're right. Because honestly, if it really get on my nerves that bad, I can get the keys and just re-back it in. So technically, you're right. You're right.
And it's just something that like, because things has been so messed up for so long, it's like, it's hard to get to that point. You know what I'm saying? I'll bring it back to like what we were talking about earlier. Who are the warriors in any society? Who are, like, I mean, we had, there's some great warrior queens in our history too. I ain't gonna front on that. But like at this stage of where we're dealing with right now, like when there's black kids, our kids are being killed, gunned down by our enemy and all that, right? It's like, as men, there's certain things that we need to step up and be on our point, right? And then when as they see that, they know that we are taking the lead, we are doing what's right. But because of the media and because of all type of things out there, it's all these mixed messages. They thinking that we don't know what we're doing as men. You know what I'm saying? Because like we look at our society as a whole. Are we doing what we need to do? Now we are. Some of us are, and that's why we have to take advantage of media outlets. Listen, you got a media outlet here. We got Lil Nas X, you know what I'm saying, and all of these things going.
I'm not talking about that.
You know, but what it is like, who's watching these? These kids is watching these.
But that's the equivalent of talking about 6ix9ine. That's why I want to talk about 6ix9ine. I'm mad I even just said it now because see they get paid off of that, bro. And they're getting a lot of airplay. You feel me? So that has an effect subconsciously on those who watch it, and it filters into our, like we can try to act like it don't exist, but it's affecting the community.
Okay, so what's your thoughts? Okay, if a black man's son get killed by the police wrongfully, what should a man do? Like, shit. Okay, let me give you some things. What you think? Okay, should he? Okay, if somebody killed your son, should you kill him and his kids too? Or should you let like the police do what they supposed to do, which they gonna favor their own brother cop, or like what you think?
Take it back to the community. It's like the thing is, we look at those things from an individual standpoint. We're not supposed to be looking at it from that level. We have to look at it from a political level. Y'all heard about Black Wall Street and what happened to Black Wall Street back in the 1920s.
What they say
happened. There's a lot of them.
There's a lot of them.
It's like 15,
we'll never know what
really
happened.
The one that was most known, right?
Publicized,
right? And that's another thing, right? If we as a black people, right, had a country in the world at that time that was strong enough to say, hey, what the hell y'all doing to our people, brothers and sisters out there? You feel me? That would have been a problem right there, okay? Give you an example. You see the Asian bills that are being passed right now, right? There's a whole China. There's a whole Japan, Korea. These are nations that can talk diplomatically and say like, and get some real things moved, okay? and to say like, hey, this is not gonna be happening. But when we come to black people, right, and we trying to fend and fight something like that for as individuals and little organizations, no, we have to think like a nation, okay? The Jews, the Jewish people, the ones that call themselves Jews, right? They got Israel. If anything, if any Jewish person get killed in America right now, right, what's gonna happen?
But I'm saying, even if you saying this nation, but even if we was just neighborhood, we was on some neighborhood meetings, if the police knew if they killed one of us, one of their kids or somebody would be dead within a week, they wouldn't be killing us like that. And besides that nation and all that kind of stuff.
Before we get to that, but I just want people like the main thing is we have to think in a group. It shouldn't be just what you're gonna do as an individual.
I'm talking about like not just saying like our neighborhood. Let's just say like the west side of Atlanta. If they knew if you go kill somebody on the west side of Atlanta, everybody from the west side of Atlanta gonna get together and they gonna make sure your son or your wife is dead within a week. Let's just say y'all just going by each sides of towns. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, the only thing with that is that it has to be, strategic. It would have to be strategic. It's not. It can't like that. And that, I think that's what the problem. People are scared to just jump up and start doing that. You know what I mean? It's like that's what the Panthers. That was being done. The Panthers was doing that. You know what I'm saying?
We haven't been organized since then.
You know, and gangs, street organizations, like was formed for that. We call them gangs now and all of like, but street organizations was doing that. And because we've gotten away from that, because when mostly we think about gangs, you feel me, street organizations, we think about all the violence that's going on amongst themselves. So we're not even able to get on that level. They're supposed to be a front line of defense. Those are street warriors. You know, all of our young brothers and sisters in the streets. Like, if we was all on code, your point is valid right there, because it's like if you mess with one, you mess with all. But we always tend to think as individuals sometimes. It's like, like when we see, like when it's a family, when somebody get killed, a child gets killed, right? Then we see that family get on and then they say they apologize, right? Or they say don't do this, right? Then what are we, so we sit back and say, okay, yeah, but that's our son, that's our daughter, that's our community, you know what I'm saying? We have to be thinking on that level. If we always think as a community, then they're gonna know that they can't isolate us and do one thing to one person.
You know what the problem, and you know why I disagree with that, and what the problem is in that logic? The problem is in that logic is it's always gonna be an Uncle Tom, bro. And like, this is a perfect example. Me, you, and Bug work at the same place. We all good workers. We all deserve a raise, or maybe a what they call that shit, a fucking whatever.
A raise.
I mean a raise, but maybe a higher position too.
Okay. Promotion.
Yeah, promotion, or you feel me? Now, shit, because we all three so good, it's been hard for them to figure out who they gonna give it to. Shit, you always on your phone, but that don't make you a worse working than Bub. But you always on your phone, and Bub, let's say Bub won that position. Shit, man, I don't know what Brad, man. He always in the bathroom on that phone. Now you done got caught on the phone, they done fired your ass. Now it's just being Bub. See what I'm saying? Let's say they fuck around and get Bub the promotion. I'm blind hating. We all work together. All of us started this job together. We were cool together, all that. But boy, they got you up out of here because you be on your phone. They got the promotion. I'm still in here looking at this nigga like, they done been here the same amount of time that nigga done been here. Why I ain't get the fucking promotion? You feel me? This nigga was like, now I'm like, no, this nigga late every Thursday.
Yeah, Bug come in late every day.
Now I done said, yeah, Bug come in late every Thursday, man. And I done made it my mission now to get here earlier on Thursdays. Now I'm doing his job that pissed him off. I'm trying to anger him. I say all that to say this. It's always gonna be somebody like, well, shit, I think they gonna win, so I'ma just take their side. For real, bro. So if you count 500 black people against 1,000 white people, I can guarantee you it's a strong 100 of that 500 black people that's gonna be like, I'm finna walk away from this. And it's fucked up, bro, but I'm telling you. And why can they gonna be like, oh, it's 1,000 crackers, on top of that being 1,000 crackers, scared them, and take my job. You know, little shit like that. Like, oh, I just got this car, I just got my credit together. You know, it be little shit like that, bro.
The interesting thing about that, Uncle Tom, I think we have to, we need to relook at what Uncle Tom means, because we look at our Uncle Tom as somebody who betrayed black people. When you look at the real story of Uncle Tom, he betrayed white supremacy. You know what I'm saying? And they used that word because he was snitching on them, right? And they used that term, that very example that you gave, to push that narrative to us so that people can aspire to be that. You know what I'm saying? To do like, all right, if I do this, master gonna put me above and make me better than the next person. So it's a spirit. It's the spirit of Judas. The spirit of Judas, you know, betraying your people, betraying your own people. And we need to take it even into the street level. You feel me? The snitches. The whole thing about snitching is like more so people who betrayed the movement, people who betrayed the revolution. You know what I'm saying? Like when Harriet Tubman and we're going to take runaways. If you was crying or like she was strapped up. You know what I'm saying? Harriet Tubman. You're not gonna run back. You on this mission with us. You ain't turning back, because when you go back, you're gonna snitch. You feel me? So they have taken that snitch and we like that words and those things, and we don't even understand like the whole thing. But it boils down to a spirit of betraying your own people. So we can teach our youth the importance of supporting the collective, not only just thinking about yourself. You feel me? Not isolated, because there's been people who are quote unquote Uncle Toms that got their ass handed to them right back by white supremacy, and they want to come back to the community. You feel me? If we can teach that, then that's how we prevent that from happening before it even occurs. You feel me?
Yeah. We kind of running short on time. We got another interview. We ain't get into a lot of stuff, but I guess talking about,
we'll bring it back.
Oh yeah. So talk about like your music and like how people can find you and all that kind of stuff.
And man, for everybody out there, check me out on Instagram. That's at PUTU Music, Putu Music. I got a single out called RBG Reloaded. For those of you who heard earlier, it was playing. And I'm gonna be launching a very strong press run, and it's more than music, because I'm doing the music, but music is a tool to shed light on the other things that I got going on. Look out for Liberia Hughes, or go on YouTube and type in Liberia Hughes. If you want to see Dr. Umar in Liberia, you type in Umar in Liberia. Liberia is a country you gotta get familiar with, and I'm using the music to reach our brothers and sisters here in America so that we can come together and we won't be able to have to deal with all these issues that we was talking about earlier.
Bad.
What you want to say before we go to the nigga ego?
RPG reloaded. Y'all should see this nigga perform. When he perform that shit, he leaves no step in the venue untook. Like, for real, I was like, this nigga done literally bounced everywhere in this motherfucker. Like I thought I'd do that, cause that be my aim when I perform. My aim when I perform is to work the whole venue, even the speaker, down to the fucking
sofa,
probably the restroom, nigga. I'm trying to touch everywhere in the venue so I know I was seen, especially if I spend some money. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you got good energy, man, and on top of that, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you've been true to your grind. A lot of people I done seen change up their gimmick. I ain't saying this what you're doing as a gimmick. I feel like it's really what you're saying it is. It's a revolution. That's why you speak so passionately. But I really want to just give you some respect just for staying true to yourself. You ain't never tried to dress like the age of coming. You always been you. I always seen that flag. You dress something like that. You know what I mean? And kicking the same flavor, man. So shout out to you, man. I'm glad we had you on the show, man.
Appreciate y'all. Thanks for having me on here, man. Y'all support literally is pressure.
Literally is no pressure.
Literally, it's no pressure. I'm sorry, man. And I appreciate y'all having me on here. Look forward for another time coming through. Y'all the new content creators, man. Like, let's take over this YouTube, Instagram, Black business. Like, we just keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you gotta cut that up. That was hard. That was hard. You gotta cut that up. That was hard. You just gave us a drop. Yeah, and shout out to all the artists that come on here and give us a drop, because we don't use that shit. And when we use it, it's gonna be marvelous. Just like with Dollar Grip, that was fire. That was fire. It's a nice suggestion you made. That was Bull's suggestion.
Okay, so we gonna leave out on the song Ego was just chanting.
RPG reloaded. I wish I could jump like that nigga. That nigga be everywhere, man.
Yeah, we'll come out to the shows, man. Like, what's y'all every Wednesday?
Every Wednesday, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop.
Text Ultra Lounge, man. And we about to start some on Thursday. Y'all stay locked.
All right.
We'll be right back.
Yeah.